Welcome to another episode of the Pathways World School Fireside Chat. It's our absolute pleasure to have with us Mr. Malcolm Nicholson. Mr. Nicholson, a global IB educator with over 33 years of experience, with qualifications in science, physical education, and international education, along with senior roles in the IB in The Hague. He has helped shape MYP and DP worldwide, guided by his strong belief that happy students learn and happy teachers teach the best. This value strongly resonates with Pathways World School. Hello, Mr. Nicholson.
Hello, thank you for having me.
All this work that you've done with so many schools and systems and students around the world, it's left me really curious. You've worked at the IB in The Hague and helped shape the MYP curriculum worldwide. So, what's your perspective on what schools should really focus on outside of the exams and the grades?
It's a good question. One of the challenges working at the IB is that every school in the world is different. Every school has its own context. So one of the values of the IB is that it allows and trusts schools to do what's right in their own context. So the Pathways World School context is one thing, another school in Tennessee or in Germany or whatever might be different. So one area is that we must trust schools to do the right thing within their context. Now, what do we learn? What the common themes are that we must, beyond curriculum, beyond syllabus material, beyond the assessment, take care of students, as you said before, and their happiness, their emotional well-being. Because unless they are happy, then they won't learn. If they're anxious, if they're stressed, they won't learn. So how can we create an overall curriculum that supports well-being and happiness? Now, curriculum can mean the written curriculum, the taught curriculum, the assessed curriculum. Assessment doesn't need to be scary. It can be varied, it can be exciting, it can be authentic and interesting. Curriculum can engage, inspire, and you can have fun. So this is what the IB can do, is support students being happy, having a great emotional situation through developing great curriculum and assessment and support for schools.
No, I totally agree. I think it is such a wonderful thing to do, trusting the schools with having their own plan, figuring out what their students need, and taking care of their emotional well being. I think that's a really great aspect. Now, what about AI? There's been such a buzz about AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, as students and people all across the world are using it, whether it's directly or indirectly. So, how can schools leverage AI and enhance learning for students?
It's a very good point. I don't think anyone has the answer. And I look forward to, over the next few years, working at Pathways World School, where we can, with students, with teachers, and with outside experts, work out the best approach for students to learn through AI, with AI. Now, when should students start working with AI? Should we be worried that students are abdicating thought to the machine? You, for example, you don't want to give away your thinking. You don't want someone else to do the thinking for you, or even have your thinking being manipulated by whatever is behind the AI, okay? So while AI can be, at the moment, very useful if you want to develop research questions or get a general idea for something that you maybe didn't understand well, reform questions, for example, we cannot afford for students to give up their thinking and let a machine do that. So we need to be very careful. I don't have a clear answer as to which point in which grade students should or should not use AI. The point being, we're all using AI, whether we know it or not. So it's better that we understand what's happening and how we can take advantage of that.
I think that's a wonderful opinion. And let's move on to the project based learning. Now, in MYP, project based learning plays a huge role, especially for me when I came into MYP. I stepped foot in grade 6. The first project that I had was the Tiny Twist. It was something that brought together so many subjects from English to mathematics to digital and product design. And this is something that really captivated my interest. In your perspective, what makes projects truly meaningful and help students learn beyond just completing their tasks?
Yeah, I think firstly, projects are a great opportunity to develop skills, as we call them in the IB programs, ATL skills. It's an opportunity to learn skills, practice them, and demonstrate the extent to which you've gained them. But what makes them really meaningful is if we can apply some authenticity, connect it to real life, whether it's a kind of pretend real life, like a grasps task. Imagine you are the fisheries
Yeah.
minister for Malawi or whatever, or even better, something that makes a difference within school or within a community or within the local environment, something that has a tangible, real connection, and then potentially a service outcome or another outcome at the end. And this might be related to the Sustainable Development Goals or not. So I think something that very deliberately develops your skills, develops your attitudes and values, and has an outcome that might benefit the community.
I think that's such a meaningful thing to say because opening this as projects just helps us that
Yeah,
much more.
absolutely.
Now, since our school values achievements, reflection, and global citizenship, how can we stop students from feeling like they have to fit into that perfect IB student mold and go out and feel how they feel, identify as who they want to be, know what ignites that passion in their heart, and just help them focus on being more themselves?
It's a really good point. There is no one IB student. We talk about the learner profile attributes. They count for me, they count for you, they count for every adult in this community, every child in this community, from the board to anybody. So we all aspire to be more reflective or more caring. And some of us have done better in some attributes than others. You may be more reflective than me. I may be more of a risk taker than you. That doesn't matter. What matters is we are who we are and we celebrate who we are. Every individual is different. Every individual has their own different strengths. But the main thing is that we all continue to strive to be better human beings. Yes, we can achieve more academically, get better grades or whatever, but how can we as a community become better human beings and make a difference in our lives, in the lives of our family and our community? That's what it's really about, is just pushing ourselves forward.
I think being in this school and having this environment around us, it's really accepting, and it's been very accepting for me. When I
Mm,
first joined school, I was still trying to figure who I was, especially when I came into middle school, still identifying myself, what interested me. I found friends, I found peers, I found teachers who were there for me,
mm,
who guided me through it, and one teacher in particular who was like my guiding
mm.
light through all of this. And I think that's just communities that we have to build in
And you know, one of
school.
the most important things about any education is relationships between students, teachers, students, leadership, anybody. It's relationships. You found a relationship that has inspired you. And that's what we all need. This school will never be the brilliant, great school that it is already without brilliant relationships.
That's so true. And since all of this has been coming on this environment, this school, these questions about AI and how your work in part of MYP, I think with you here with us, it's just gonna get so much better. So thank you so much
My
for having
pleasure.
this conversation with me. It's been such an honor. We're really looking forward to have you, and I hope this school welcomes you just as well as it did me when I first came.
Thank you. I'm sure it will. Thank you very much.
Thank you.